I don't know. I'm not sure I'm buying what I saw the Friday night with Tyson and Paul. But they have a bigger problem on their hands over at Netflix. It's Crack Bent or Broken. I'm Nick Anthony. Let's go. I mean, the whole fight, didn't it seem like Tyson was literally doing nothing but bobbing and weaving and, wasn't really throwing much punches? I mean, he did in the beginning and he looked, good, like that training video we saw. But then after that, it didn't look right. Something didn't look right for that fight. I know I can't be the only one because I did the search. I've been searching around social media, and I don't like social media, but I did some social media searching, and I'm not the only one that thinks this about this fight. Something didn't look right. He wasn't throwing any punches after that second round. He wasn't throwing anything. He was just bobbing and weaving and just doing the song and dance. It looked like a glorified sparring match for a big payday for Tyson. $20 million, $40 for homeboy Paul. And boy, do I hate Paul. I mean, I really hate this guy. I strongly hate this guy and his brother, for that matter, Luke or Logan, whatever his name is, over at WWE. And I can't stand him. And I'll tell you one thing. Watching the Netflix feed of the fight and all the buffering and the logging off and on as a wrestling fan, and knowing wrestling is going to Netflix shortly here, I'm not getting the warm and fuzzies, if you know what I'm saying, for this live broadcast of Monday Night Raw. Now, I can't imagine the bandwidth of a Paul versus Tyson fight levels for a weekly WWE Monday Night Raw show or pay-per-view or whatever, right? I can't imagine it'd be that much bandwidth or viewership. I know wrestling and WWE has a lot of viewers and they can, or we can, take up a lot of space or bandwidth or viewership, whatever you want to call it. But this Tyson Paul fight was, anticipated, and I can't see that or wrestling would draw that many on a weekly basis. No, not that is not going to happen. And plus, WWE's numbers aren't that great in the first place. I mean, it's not 90s numbers. So I can't see them shutting down Netflix weekly for wrestling as a wrestling fan. But I can see WrestleMania, certainly doing that. So I think Netflix better look into that right now. Because how long did the Tyson-Paul fight get postponed? And I mean, they anticipated. Didn't they? How could they not have anticipated this worldwide event? Paul versus Tyson. And we still get buffering and glitches. And this terrible, terrible bandwidth for Netflix. How can they not have anticipated this? Just thinking about it, how long did they have to anticipate the amount of viewership and to fix their issue? They better get it straight for WWE for Monday Night Raw, because wrestling fans aren't going to go for it. That's what I do know. They're not going to go for it. Wrestling fans are very vocal. Bit of nerds and spend lots of money. And we range from every demographic, young, old, every nationality, ethnicity, religion, you name it. Buffering is not is not an option. So, Netflix, you got some answers far bigger than this, in my opinion, staged fight with Paul and Mike Tyson. Far bigger issues. Because buffering and glitching for wrestling fans, not going to happen. It's not an option. It's Crack Bent to Broken. I'm Nick Amp.